Before we get any further in the series, I want to pause for a minute to emphasize that the goal here is not for you to become a perfect parent. There's no such thing as a perfect parent, and you don't have to be a perfect parent to be a good parent. The truth is that every one of us, when it comes to parenting, has messed up. And let's be honest, we're going to continue to mess up. One of the goals I have for this series is to help you win with your kids and enhance your odds of being a better parent. But trust me, you're still going to screw up.
Hey, I'm looking for a kid, might be like this tall, might have a box of matches and a can of gasoline.
Sorry. Hopefully not as bad as that guy. Remember, we're trying to move away from desperate quick fixes to being more intentional with our actions. It's a process, so give yourself permission to learn and grow the same way you want your kids to learn and grow. Let's talk about something that I know you can do right now, no matter where you are in your parenting journey. You can begin to overwhelm your kids with encouragement. Encouragement is one of our deepest cravings, and in all my years working with kids, I've never met one who said, "Stop encouraging me, I can't take it anymore. I've had it up to here with all those positive and empowering comments." That never happens. Impressive work, my man. Keep it up. Encouragement is food for our soul, and most of us are hungry for it. We all know this, yet as parents, we continue to use thoughtless words that will leave scars. Words are so powerful. They possess the ability to enhance a life or to minimize it. Careless words can actually become self-fulfilling. You've seen this before. A parent describes their child in a certain way over and over until the kid inevitably becomes that description.
This is my daughter, Jill. She's shy.
This is Sam, my demon child.
Raise your hand if you'd rather be around people who encourage you rather than people who criticize you. Yeah, me too. And your kids are no different. They'd much rather be around people who speak good words to them. So if you're constantly criticizing them, I promise you, they'll find other people to hang around with who won't. So how do you encourage them when most of the time you just want to strangle them? Well, let me see if I can keep you out of jail and give you some practical suggestions. Number one, see it and say it positive. Basically, try to catch your kids doing things right. See it, then comment on it. For many kids, most of the words they hear at home are just negative.
How many times do I have to tell you not to put the cat in the microwave?
You need to use less toilet paper.
What if instead of going negative, you go positive? What if you look for opportunities to catch your kids doing things right?
At least you only defrosted her this time.
Nice decorating. Looks like a winter wonderland.
You might need to start small. Hey, your nose ring matches your belt. Parents, here's the key to encouraging your kids. Don't expect encouragement back. Most kids don't have the emotional vocabulary to know what to say and how to say it. That's okay, you're the grown-up. So see it, say it positively, and don't expect anything in return for many years. Once you've mastered the see it and say it positive principle, you're ready for graduate level encouragement. This is a little advanced, but here it is. Say it beyond their performance. What I mean is try not to let encouragement always be about their performance. Here's what I've observed. Most language directed at kids falls into two categories: performance or shame-oriented. Maybe you grew up in a home where if you did something bad, you got the look or the word of shame, and if you did something good, you got the pat on the head of approval. Well, what do these little quick fixes of shame or praise do to people? Well, it makes them dependent on others for how they feel about themselves. And that's why today's culture is filled with all these adults who are approval addicts. They grew up in an environment that was either shame on you or proud of you, shame on you or proud of you. What's the result? Well, now we all perform for others so that we can hear the words, "I'm proud of you." So how do we break that cycle with our own kids? Well, let's say your son plays baseball.
Hey, did you see that home run I hit today?
Well, you could look at him and say, "I love it when you hit home runs. You are such a gifted athlete." And then send him away with his little fix of approval. Or you could say,
Hey, did you see that home run I hit today?
"I love watching you play. It brings me great joy to watch you have so much fun." See, genuine encouragement is saying, I love you and I believe in you regardless of performance. Your kid will hit home runs in life, but let's face it, there will also be some strikeouts along the way. That home run strikeout pendulum is going to swing back and forth throughout their lives. And it's so important that they know that you love them no matter how they perform. I gotta go, I'm gonna be late. There's one more piece to this that you need to know. And dads, this one might be especially challenging for some of you. You can't just say it, you have to show encouragement through affection. Your kids need to hear your encouragement in your words, but they also need to feel your encouragement in your warmth. Your kid has something that I call skin hunger, and it needs to be fed by you. And I realize this can be difficult for some personality types. Some people are just not huggers. I know, I'm not a hugger, I'm a handshaker. I even shake my mom's hand. Just kidding. We high five. You may have grown up in a home where physical affection was rare. It wasn't modeled well. And while it may be difficult for you, you must break the cycle before your kids are left with the same wounds that you have. Care to join me for a dance, my lady?
Sure.
Here's what's gonna happen, Dad. If you don't show love to your kids through affection, well, you're gonna produce boys who don't know how to express themselves emotionally, and you're gonna produce girls who will figure out how to express themselves sexually. And I don't wanna sound alarming, but if your daughter doesn't get the affection she needs from the most important male in her life, I guarantee you there are others who are more than willing to give it to her. The Bible says, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring one another. Parents, pour it on when it comes to showing your kids genuine affection. When they're teenagers and they think you're weird and they don't want anything to do with you, pour it on even more. You're the grown-up, hug them, wrestle with them. If that's too difficult for you, pretend to trip and fall on them. They need your touch. They need their skin hunger fed by those who love them the most.
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah?
Would you commit to practicing these things? Catch your kids doing things right. Praise them for who they are and not for how they perform. And show them love through your affection. Because when your kids have moved out and moved on, I promise you, you won't regret the efforts you made to encourage them. Hey, aren't you going to introduce me to your friends?